Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of In the Swamp with Ogre. Today we have Ruth with City Lights Flowers on. She's gonna small business. Wanted to get her story out because there's a couple things that have happened to the business besides COVID and the small business problems we're having and lack of conventions and weddings and things that normally would affect florists. There's also some other issues. So Ruth, thank you for being on with us today.
No, thank you for being a part of, building small businesses working together. So I really do appreciate y'all reaching out to our mom and pop shop of our florist.
It's our pleasure. We want to build a large community. We want everybody to feel that we're all in this together and we're helping each other out through this COVID and through personal things. So I know that one of the gentlemen on my team, Scott, reached out to you because you had registered on our site, and we just, as a business, he was just reaching out to see what can we do to help you. And he kind of told us a little bit about your story. If you could tell us a little bit about what's going on in the business and in your personal life.
Okay, well, COVID was a really big impact because we noticed this ourselves back like November and December, where our business in the flower shop industry was trailing down. And I think it's because already at the time, people were already starting to get leery with all the word that was out there of people that were coming in from China into the hospitals in the US, like San Antonio, for example, and others. And I feel like that impacted us, mom and pop shop, because we noticed a decline in our volume, our walk in traffic. So our landlord was nice enough to move our shop of my son's to another smaller building because we noticed the decline of the business. With doing so, we moved over here, give and take around 1st of February. We hurried to be ready for Valentine. So we did that. But with the COVID going on, then it was something else that we came across where personally things started affecting it as well to affect the business. For example, we're very involved. My husband helping our son, our daughter in law, our daughter is helping. I mean, we're all just put our hands into the business to make it happen. And we started noticing my husband getting ill, where it was getting worse. But because of COVID, the actual physical one on one doctor care had to get kind of extended and had to be through video. So she sent him for a series of tests, come to find out he has kidney failure that we've known for a few years, but now it had gotten worse that his kidneys dropped to 15, both of them. So my son, that is the owner of the shop, the male clinic that is doing the future transplant for my husband started getting the family involved to test for the transplant. That's where my son comes involved, that is the owner. He took some days off because he also has a full-time job on top of running the business of the flower shop. And he took some days, went to the mail to get tested. Come to find out, trying to save his daddy, we had to save him and needed emergency surgery a matter of like 4 days right after we found out. He had cancer. He had a tumor on his left kidney. So they had to hurry up and said, you know what? Of course, my son broke down and said, but I still wanted to save my dad. But they were like, I'm sorry, we got to save you. You know, we'll just move on to other candidates. So, make the story short, it was around the 30th of last month that they did his surgery. They removed the tumor. The cancer, we won't know if he's cancer free till in July. He had testing done yesterday at the Mayo Clinic where he still had some drainage going on and so forth. But with that being said, he's getting very well taken care of over there at the Mayo Clinic in Arizona. Um, so the COVID has just impacted so much because not only did he take FMLA at his full time job, his business of the flower shop slowed down dramatically. The SBA loan didn't go through because they base it on you have to have a higher score than like 650. Well, he's right below that. He barely missed what their criteria is, which that kind of doesn't make sense to me, but we did send a letter why we should be reconsidered. But with all that being said, we're still trying to push through with the business. I, as a mom, am doing everything as possible in my daughter to keep it going because we've had it for so many years. we've been in this flower shop industry, and we just don't have the heart to let it go that easy. So while my son is healing, trying to get better to be able to get back to work, that's what we're doing right now. We're trying to survive the best we can. Where we used to have many of walk-in traffic, now we're barely getting, if we're lucky, one a day, sometimes three. But it's still so dramatically slow than what it used to be.
Yeah.
So
I can imagine that the weddings not happening,
correct,
the large gathering for funerals that would normally happen aren't happening.
correct.
So I know that from personal experience. My mom passed away during the COVID in Florida, so I couldn't get back. So we haven't been able to have services. So I know that local florists in Miami aren't getting that activity as well. Not having weddings, that's huge, and slowly opening up is not making it any better because the conventions need to come back because that's what feeds the local florist and the local business. Everybody feeds off of everybody locally, and I understand that. I hope your son is doing much better, and we hope and pray for him. And it's got to be tough because he's in Arizona and you guys are here, so I would imagine that it's a lot of FaceTime trying to communicate. I'm sure he's worried about the business and trying to keep the business alive because I know as a small business owner, we struggle with that. We're worried
Definitely.
about our health and we want to get better and we want to do it, but we also worry about what about our business.
Exactly.
So
And
I totally understand the struggle. And was he in the casino industry that
he was. He works for MGM Corporate. So he
okay.
works on the corporate side of it with in the security.
Okay.
So he did have where he was still working right before this happened, but then this happened, and due to the COVID that he couldn't be around people and so forth, and then he found out of the cancer, he was forced to go FMLA. And then the
Okay.
sad part about it, it's only my daughter-in-law working because he didn't have short-term or long-term disability on his insurance plan. So right now he's without pay, only what my daughter-in-law is working. Um, at least they're fortunate enough that at least a little bit of income's coming in.
Yeah.
But he's just taking a double hitter, where no income for himself as a man of what you can imagine what someone can feel like, and then his business not really moving forward. So
Yeah.
it's devastating.
Yeah, I imagine that for him, devastating. I'm not putting myself. I can never put myself in that situation because I'm not in it. But I can understand. One day being healthy. Hey, I'm gonna do what I can to save pops and do what I can to help my dad. And now all of a sudden you're the one that needs saving, and your business is out of control. And I'm sure, like most local business owners, you try to control everything because you want to
Hmm.
maintain your business, you want to keep your job, you want to maintain your family, and that's a pride, especially owning a business. That's very prideful for a lot of people,
Oh yes, definitely.
and then to find out that now it's out of your hands and you're battling to survive, and you really can't get into the thrive mode because you're battling to survive. And like I said, we pray for him. So one of the things I'd like to do is I'd like to reach out to other local businesses that we've helped and that we've promoted. To number one, if you order flowers, please order it from City Lights Flowers. Number two, I'd like to see if we can set up a fundraiser for you guys so that we can collect funds to try to help offset some of the medical expenses and some of the expenses that you guys are having now and try to keep your doors open because I think
And that keep
that's
the
important.
doors itself of the business. That's why that would be so grateful because I mean the rent still needs to get paid, the utilities have to still keep going, and as you can tell right behind me we have that humongous walk-in cooler,
Right.
and that takes up quite a bit of power. So but with that being said, that's very generous of your realty company to do this for us. Because my hands have been pretty tight, taking care of my grandbabies, which is their kids, and running the business and doing everything I can to stay afloat. Because we're not ready to give it up. We're
Right.
not ready.
And we're going to do whatever we can to try to help you because I understand that the fabric of our communities are the small businesses, and
Hmm.
we need to support each other. We need to be able to, one of us is in trouble, we need to do what we can as a community to come together and support you and do what we can. So I'm hoping that by the time this goes out, we have maybe a GoFundMe page set up for you guys. Maybe we'll have a fundraiser set up. Whatever we can do to try to support your local business and support your son and get you guys through this terrible time that we're all going through right now. But
I
you guys support.
appreciate it. I mean, I'm even doing special where they can get a dozen of roses wrapped for $15. I mean, that's an absolute good deal.
Oh, that's a
And
great deal.
heck of a deal. So I started pushing that last night, or yesterday afternoon. My daughter in law, while she's in Arizona, put it on our website of City Lights Flowers of our Facebook page. So we're trying ourselves do other means. So if y'all want to, feel free to go into our Facebook page and look at some of those specials. That would be great. But so the community knows that we agree, we're in here in this together.
Yeah.
Some of them might be in a small budget, and we understand where they're coming from.
Okay.
So
That's great to know. And it's great to know you're still fighting. It's not like you're just saying, hey, you know what? We can't do this or we just need help. You guys are running specials, running everything you can to try to do your part and say, hey, just come help us because we're going to help you. We're going to give you the best deal we can. And every little bit helps.
exactly.
All right, Ruth. So I'm going to make sure that when this goes out underneath the YouTube, it'll have your website, your Facebook page, all of your information so they can get a hold of you. And like I said, I'm going to work on, and hopefully by the time that goes out, this video goes out, we will have a fundraiser, a date set up, and everything for you guys to help you guys out.
I really appreciate that, Ed. Couldn't thank y'all bunches for all this. I
No,
mean,
thank
it's a
you. Thank you
miracle
for
in
being.
this. It's a miracle in the sky because I've, said, and we're a faith believer, and I kept telling my son John, the owner, I'm like, you got to keep on holding tight to faith. God has a bigger plan, and there's more that's coming, and you just got to hang on tight. So for us, in my eyes, I see your business as an angel sent to work together, and us likewise. And we can put it even in our, as a kind of a banner in our website. I'll tell my daughter-in-law so we can do that. But I believe in helping each other. I mean, all of our family does.
Yeah, and I'm huge faith believer as well. So this came together for a reason for us to help each
Exactly.
other and to support each other and get through this together. So I think it's a blessing that this call happened, that Scott made that call to you, that you were open to doing this, and that you're opening to share your entire situation with us. It's tough, and I know it's very difficult to come through some of these decisions to decide you want to get it out there, but getting the information out and letting people know that it's not just a business; it's a family behind the business. And
Exactly.
when the business struggles, the family struggles, and everybody struggles. Plus, you have other issues that come in that now we all need to work together to help lift each other up, and especially in these times.
Exactly.
All right, Ruth, thank you very much. I really appreciate your
Thank you,
time.
Ed. You have a blessed day.
You as well. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Bye-bye.